Hello and welcome to another Assetto Corsa Competizione video, where today we're going to be taking a look at another track from the Intercontinental GT Pack, and that is going to be Suzuka. The car of choice this time round for driving this circuit is the Ferrari 488 GT3 car. And let's get ourselves out onto the circuit. Very short run to the pit exit, and then we are underway and heading down towards turn 1. This is a practice session, so I'm not entirely sure why I was checking my mirror just there. But yeah, we've done 2 tracks so far. We've looked at Bathurst and we've looked at Laguna Seca, both of them being very, very impressive. So once again, we're expecting big things here from Suzuka in terms of quality. I do believe this is laser scanned, as all the tracks are in the new DLC. So we're looking for very, very accurate, good road representation, flow of the circuit, and of course track detail as well. I mean, you can already see that some of that detail is very much there in terms of the environment around the track. And once again, we'll follow the previous format of the last 2 videos, where we're going to take this kind of nice steady warm-up lap. We'll then do a kind of track guide lap, and then we'll talk about the circuit, my thoughts and feelings on it, and then try and get a good quick lap in at the end as well. So just braking a little bit more for a couple of these corners, just to try and bring a little bit more heat into the brakes, try and help get the tyres up to temperature and up to pressure a little bit earlier. I haven't really driven this car all that much. And to be honest, I haven't really driven Suzuka all that much either. I've driven it in iRacing. Obviously Project Cars 2's got a similar version known as Sakito, but it's got some changes to it. And then of course the F1 games have Suzuka as well. So we'll begin our first flying lap here with a bit of a rough start coming out of the chicane there. But obviously coming down towards turn 1. Looking for the 100 brake marker board and the 50 brake marker board, braking just as we get into the 50, down into 4th gear for the first corner, then down into 2nd for the 2nd. Nice and smooth on the throttle. Bring the car over to the right to try and open up turn 3 a little bit, and just feed and roll the car through nice and steadily. Try and open up the Zazis section, and then for this right-hander here, we're going to drop it down into 2nd gear just to give ourselves a little bit more acceleration coming off the corner. Try and open up this right-hander. Haven't really touched any of the apexes through that all that well, but flat out through the long left here. Down into 3rd gear for the first right-hander. Stay off the inside curb as it's very aggressive, and then the second one you can hook up into the nice camber and the dip on the inside there. Now we're coming up to the hairpin. Flat through the right. As soon as we get through that, hard on the brakes. Down into 1st gear. Don't necessarily need to hook up the inside curb. Then get hard on the accelerator. Coming out before into a long, flat out right-hander before we're coming up to spoon. So we're looking for our braking point just there. That's actually a little bit late, so it's just a little bit before the green painted tarmac on the left there. Oh, sorry, on the right. At the entry to spoon. It's 3rd gear through the first part, and then 2nd gear through the last bit. And now we're coming up towards the very fast 130R, which we will just lift slightly going through. Didn't lift too much, didn't lift enough. And then just about managed to get it slowed down for the final chicane here. So not the tidiest of laps, and to be fair, the kind of track guide very much fell apart at the end there with me making mistakes. So we'll pick those bits up on the next lap, but overall the track looks absolutely stunning in terms of detail. Like, really nice grandstand detail with the crowds, all the fencing around the circuit, the pit complex, and the grandstands on that start-finish straight look absolutely brilliant. Well shy of the apex there. What's that? That wasn't a Spa-Francorchamps signage boarding that I saw up there, was it? I have to look on the next lap, but look at that fencing and the detail over there on the crowd to the right hand side. Obviously all the lighting and everything as well. The track looks really good and really well presented here. Once again, Kuno's doing an absolutely fantastic job. Give him credit where credit is due. As well as the quality on all the circuits has been absolutely phenomenal so far. So that's a bit of a better run through the hairpin. Let's see if we can actually get spoon curve done properly this time. So the braking point is just before the painted tarmac on the right hand side. Picking up that apex, letting the car roll through and then bring it back. Second gear for the exit. Just trying to balance the throttle coming out through the exit because obviously want to get as early on the throttle as possible for this straight on the run to 130R. Oh, track limit's a bit punishing there, and we're braking before the 100-meter board on the inside. Hammer the curb here in this first part. You don't want to be taking too much for the second, as you want the car nice and settled to get hard on the accelerator to come out through the exit. But yeah, look at these grandstands on the left and obviously the pit building on the right hand side there as well. Looks absolutely brilliant. Once again, Kunos has done a very good job of giving a realistic sense of presence and a grand sense of scale. Yeah, let's see if there was a Spa-Francorchamps board around here. So on the left hand side. There is. Interesting. Yeah, circuit to Spa-Francorchamps. Thought I did see one. That's a bit odd. But hey ho. But yeah, road detail feels really good. Curves feel really good. Obviously some are very aggressive, like that one there on the inside that we just clipped. So I want to be staying off of that. Also that one there. And unlike some of the other tracks, there's actually bits of AstroTurf around this circuit as well. Which makes it interesting when getting hard on the accelerator. I haven't really driven this car all that much, but once you get up into the higher rev range, the turbo really starts to kick in. You kind of need to manage that a little bit because wheel spin does very quickly follow. Obviously we've got a new FIA curbing on the exit of 2 spoon curves. See it there just beyond the red and white curbing. It's kind of more sawtooth curbing that's painted green. Let's see if we can get 130R right this time. Dave Perel was saying that they do use the brakes here. So just give a short dab. That was probably a little bit too much. And then yeah, braking about 120 to 130 meters before the corner. Clobbering that inside curve. Nice and smooth there through the second left. And out across the start-finish line at some point. 208. But we did slow down to have a look at the Spa board, so let's see if we can get a good couple of laps in here. Circuit's got a really nice flow to it as well. There's that oversteer that I was talking about when the turbo starts to spool up more. I feel like it could be quicker coming through the Estes section here. I don't think I've quite got it nailed yet in terms of the flow on the throttle. I'm going to hold it in third gear this time. Just try and open up this final left. Just lifting the throttle to get the car tucked in a little bit better in towards the apex. Braking just before that 50 board. Don't want to go too wide there. We just about managed to keep it within track limits. Likewise there apparently. Although I thought I was a little bit wider than I should have been. And into the hairpin. Really slow speed. So yeah, good detail in the foliage around this back section of the circuit. Really nice elevation change as well. You can see the road bumps and feel those impacting the car quite nicely. Down the hill and then back up, and we're about to go over the bridge, which is just here where the circuit passes underneath itself. Carrying a bit more speed this time through 130R, riding that curve slightly. Hard on the brakes, hammering that curb probably a little bit too much. And we'll do one more flying lap, and once again I'll go silent for this one, so enjoy the car sounds in this Ferrari 488 GT3.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Just absolutely killed all the time there with that little bit of over rotation. Ah, damn it, just took too much speaker in. Oh, right on the limit there with 130R. So yeah, a few mistakes on that lap unfortunately, but fastest was a 202.8, not entirely sure how quick that is, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that video and a look at Suzuka. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel, it will be very much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching the video guys. Hopefully I shall catch you in the next one, but until then, have fun, stay safe, and take care.